All right, so let's look at number 15. It says, write the possible range for the measurement 24 liters plus or minus 14.1%, round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is explain what does this plus or minus mean. So we did go over this, but I want to make sure everyone kind of understands. Okay, if you look over here, okay, I give you a range. So the plus or minus 5 here in this case is dealing with a range. Okay, what this tells me is that I need to do 20 minus 5, and that'll give me my lowest point, and 20 plus 5, which will give me my highest. So for instance, the range 20 plus or minus 5 tells me that I do 20 minus 5, which is 15, which would be my lowest. I'll write this in orange. Okay. And then 20 plus 5, which is 25. Okay. So in this case, if they gave me the possible range of 20 plus or minus 5, that would mean that my range is from 15 to 25. Okay, again, subtracting 5 to get the lowest, adding 5 to get the highest. So here, what they're saying is we need to take 24 liters and plus or minus 14.1%. Okay, so we're going to be adding and subtracting a certain amount from 24. But right now, they just give us a percent. They don't give us an actual value. So we need to find out first, what is 14.1% of 24 liters? So if you look here, I went ahead and write 24 liters plus or minus a certain value. But again, we need to find that value first because we don't know what 14.1% of 24 liters is. Okay, so to find out what this percent of 24 liters is, we got to multiply by that percent. Okay, so we're going to take 24 and multiply it by 14.1%. But first, we need to convert 14.1% to a decimal. Okay, because we can't multiply it by just the necessary percent. So to convert a percent to a decimal. Okay, so right now we have 14.1%. To convert that to a decimal, I just move the decimal place 2 places to the left. Okay, so I'm going to take this decimal and go 1, 2. So 14.1% as a decimal is 0.141. And again, if you want to double check it, you can just take your percent. If you move this decimal 2 places to the right, okay, I'm left with 14.1%. Okay, so going from decimal to percent, you just move it 2 places to the right. Going from a percent to a decimal, you move the decimal 2 places to the left. Okay, so to figure out 24 times 0.141, and let me figure out what that is because I did not do that beforehand. 24 times 0.141 is 3.3. It says 384, but I'm around to the hundredths place, so that's approximately 3.38. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and round that up. All right. So now that I've found out what 14.1% of 24 is, now I know what I'm actually adding and subtracting. So what I'm actually taking from 24 is I'm adding or subtracting 3.38. Okay. So again, same thing, concept we did here. I'm just going to find my lowest and my highest. And I'm going to do that by taking 24 minus 3.38, which is my lowest. And the highest is going to be 24 plus 3.38. Alright, so let's do that. So 24 minus 3.38 gives me 20. So I'm going to write this over here. So my lowest is about 20.62. And again, this is liters. It's my lowest point. And my highest, 24 plus 3.38, 0.38 is 27.38. Okay, if I look on my review, that would be D. Okay, so again, the main thing to look at is, first off, when you do these types of problems, they're usually going to give you a percent. You first need to figure out what is this percent. So what is 14.1% of 24? And again, I do that by multiplying. Okay. Again, you got to make sure you switch the percent to a decimal. Once you find that value, that's what you're adding or subtracting to get your lowest and your highest point. What you're getting is your range. Okay. This is telling me how far I'm allowed to miss. What is my range? Okay. So then I'm just adding and subtracting 3.38 from 24, and that'll give me my lowest and highest point.